We simply call this segment Capital Spotlight. Why? Well, we put the spotlight on a member of the General Assembly and discuss with them what they have in the hopper for 5 minutes right before a session here in the House of Representatives. It gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome back a woman that we've interviewed many times. In fact, she never says no. If we call her up, we invite her on, she's always more than willing to come on and tell us what she's working on and tell us how she feels on the issues. It's our pleasure to welcome back the Honorable State Representative Doreen Costa. Representative, good to see you.
Hi, Dave. Thank you. How can anybody say no to you, Dave?
Well, listen, that's the way, kind of the way I feel, but I have somewhat of a jaundiced perspective. And listen, I know one of the things that you just sent a release out about is something, in fact, you may have a press conference coming up about it.
It's tomorrow.
Okay, and it deals with the tax on taxi cabs. Tell us about that.
Well, you know, we're starting to, a couple years back, you know, we voted on taxing some small businesses, the taxi cab drivers, as well as the pet groomers. And I didn't think that it was right. I mean, because we have enough regulations on the businesses and, you know, they still do pay a lot of taxes. So I did some fiscal research and it brought in a lot less money than they thought it was going to be. And these taxi cab drivers, they live paycheck to paycheck like everybody else. And, you know, and I just think it's only right to repeal it.
Are you optimistic that you can make that happen?
Well, it's always up to the Speaker of the House what bills come out and what bills don't. But the good thing about it is, and the reason why I called the press conference for tomorrow, is I have 40 signatures plus I will be getting some more today. That's the majority of the House of Representatives, and I can't imagine the Speaker ignoring the body, the legislative body. So I'm hoping that he will let this out. I know it has to go through House Finance. I know that some of the taxi cab organizations will be, you know, testifying in House Finance. So, you know, I would love to see this come out on the House floor. Just bring it for a vote.
Well, again, I think you're accurate in saying I don't think anybody's getting rich, you know, operating a taxi cab these days.
The numbers were less than $400,000, which is a drop in the bucket with, you know, what we have here going in the state now. So, you know, I know it's a small step, but small steps can lead to big steps. And, you know, we're just taking it one day at a time here, and I'm waiting to see all this good business regulation, deregulations coming in. I don't see anything coming out right now that's going to help any of the businesses. So, you know, hopefully this will come through and this will help at least one part.
We talked a few minutes ago with one of your colleagues and a member of the Republican caucus, Representative Anthony Giarrusso.
Oh, yeah.
And he was talking about the Small Business Council, and he wants them to raise their voice and be a little louder. Again, I know that business has been a focus of yours. What do we need to do here in 2014 to try to promote small business in Rhode Island?
Well, I mean, everybody here can talk a good talk, but I haven't seen anybody walk the walk. I haven't seen the legislation come in. I haven't seen the legislation passed. I really haven't seen anything that's going to help. You know, we hear jobs, we hear small businesses, we hear the economy. And right now, I mean, if you see some of the legislation that's going in, it's more regulations, it's more taxes, you know, it's like we have to wake up here and we have to do what's right.
Well, in the last couple of years, I mean, let's talk about a positive. The General Assembly's been somewhat effective in helping cut the red tape a little bit with the small business. They've been effective in reducing some of the red tape here in Rhode Island, have they not?
Name it.
Well, you know, I know that the Senate President had a big campaign making it easier to do business in Rhode Island.
It's still not easy to do business in Rhode Island, Dave. Nobody should have to come to Rhode Island and pay $500 to start a business here. I put legislation in a few years back to get rid of the corporate tax, and that didn't go anywhere.
Well, I'm talking about some of the clerical things, some of the administrative things, some of the paperwork. The Secretary of State, I know, has been helpful in trying to streamline some of that small business process for people that want to go in business. Nobody's going to suggest that we're, you know, out of the woods yet, but I mean, there has been, seemingly the General Assembly's been moving in the right direction a little bit when it comes to small business.
Well, the problem is you say a little bit, and I don't think that's adequate. We need more than a little bit. We need to move forward. We need to keep going. We need something bold. We need someone that's going to come out and say, okay, enough is enough. Let's stop with all this nonsense, and let's just bring the bills to the floor that are going to help the businesses and the community and build jobs. And right now, that's all you hear is jobs, the economy. Dave, I'm not seeing anything quite yet. Well, I'm waiting, though, patiently.
Well, listen, one of the other things that we like about doing these segments is that our viewers get to know their representation a little more on a personal level. You've recently had an addition to your family. It's a hedgehog.
Yes.
And I saw pictures of this little darling on your Facebook page. Why did you get a hedgehog, and what prompted you to do that? What is a hedgehog, by the way?
Well, actually, I got the hedgehog a few years back that a friend of mine's daughter was going to college, needed a home, so I took the hedgehog in, and then I figured it needed company, so I got another hedgehog. And now we had hedgehog babies, so.
Well, congratulations.
Well, they're all taken. They're all in their new homes now, but they're a fun little pet.
I'm sure it was a blessed event.
It was. Oh, it was great, Dave.
Representative Costa, thank you so much for talking to us.
My pleasure, Dave.
And, of course, we could not do it without you. Thank you so much for watching for Capitol Television. I'm Dave Barber.